Ramses. Oh, and we really have to get up for Ramses today because he accepted the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ as his personal Savior today. And he no longer will kill people or be mean, but be good and be loving. Give it up for Ramses. Hi, Joseph. Thank you so much for coming today to our celebration.
My pleasure. Alright guys, I really did talk to Ramses. He is better now. And Cecil, I'm definitely taking on that offer of your taxes. I definitely need that. Guys, once again, I want to thank all of you for coming out here. Do you mind if I take this off? One of the things about being a high official in Egypt is that your head, you scratch your head a lot. It tends to be very hot here. You know, when I heard that there was Christians in Egypt, I had no idea there was this many. Wow, this is really great. You know, being from Canaan, you know, I'm used to having my family around, and in Egypt, when I came to Egypt, you know, I was the only Christian. So, you know, I felt lonely for a long time. And ever since you guys came here, wow, you've really changed my life a lot. You know, I think I've learned more from you than anything else. Anything my family could have taught me. You guys really taught me what hope is, and, you know, that God gives us forgiveness. So, what do you guys think of Egypt? Just, in general, I'm asking the kids. What are some things that you noticed about Egypt? Pyramids, okay. Did you notice that, you know, that they worship many gods here in Egypt? Yeah. And who's the God that you worship? The one true God, right? You know, when I first came to Egypt, I was like, whoa, hold on. I'm not used to all these gods. I'm not used to these sun gods and moon gods. You know, I wasn't cool with that. So, you know, I prayed about it, and, you know, through all my difficulties, God was there for me. And, you know, I hoped in Him, and He raised me to this level. I just want to share with you guys some things about myself. As you all know, I was born to a man named Jacob, who lives in Canaan, or Canaan, however you want to pronounce that. And I had 11 brothers. Can you imagine that? 11 brothers? That's a huge family, right? You know, my dad, he always used to talk to me about dreams. And one of the things that, you know, I remember this was a couple of years back, me and him were herding some sheep. And one of the things he told me about dreams was that dreams are like the stars, you know? You can't touch them, but if you follow them, they'll lead you to your destiny. And you know what? I thought he was crazy, to be honest. I didn't know what he was saying. But now I know that if I believe in the one true God, that He will show us dreams and that our destinies will be fulfilled. Right? You guys have all told me about dreams that you've had and that how they've been fulfilled, right? You guys want to share any right now? Any, you know, I've heard some great dreams about people being sick and, you know, healing and all of those things. It was great. You do? Okay, go ahead. Huh? So let me tell you about two dreams that I've had, and they may sound a little crazy. My brothers definitely thought this was crazy. What I saw in my dream was I saw the sun and the moon and 11 stars bow down to me, and I told my brothers, you know what they said? They said, Joseph, you're crazy. Man, what are you talking about? How can the sun and the moon bow down to people? Does that make any sense? I've had other dreams where sheaves of grain, where I gather sheaves of grain and my brother's sheaves of grain were bowing down to my sheaves of grain. Does food bow down to anything? Does the sun and the stars bow down to anything? Does that make any sense? No, right? My brothers thought I was crazy. And you know what? I was one of the favorite among my dad and you know, I was the beloved son of my people. And, you know, my dad, he made me a really, really nice looking robe that all my brothers were jealous of. And, you know, they wanted it for themselves. So one day, you know what they did to me? What did they do to me? They threw me in a what? They threw me in a pit, right? You know, even in the pit, I managed to trust in the Lord. And, you know, He has kept me safe, and He's brought me to Egypt. Now, when I think of Egypt, that's a place where I never thought I would have been. In my wildest dreams, I cannot believe I'm even in this land right now. When God brought me to Egypt, He brought me to a place where I served a master for a time. His name was Potiphar. And even in Potiphar's house, God was faithful to me. You know what He did for me there? He put me in charge of all of Potiphar's household, everything. Isn't that great? That from the pit, He can bring me to Egypt, and in a land where I don't know anybody, give me the power and the authority that I need. From there, His glory, His graciousness was not done yet. Even there, after I was thrown into prison, God gave me that special ability. What did you guys say my special ability was? Interpret dreams, right? Well, what I did at the prison was I interpreted 2 dreams. One from a baker and one from a cupbearer, right? Those 2 dreams, I showed the cupbearer. The cupbearer was in big trouble with the Pharaoh, and so was the baker. And I showed them that, in these coming days, that they will be free, and that the Pharaoh will look favorably on them again. And once they were free, I told them to remember me. And you know what happened? They forgot about me, right? Oh my God. I couldn't believe it. I gave them everything. And they forgot about me. For 2 years, I stood in that prison. And you know what I realized? The thing that I realized was, like you guys said, God gives us hope, right? And when we put our trust in God, we don't put our trust in man. See, that was one problem that I had. See, I put my trust in the cupbearer and the baker, and what happened? They forgot about me. So that's one of the lessons that I want to tell you guys right now, is that, when you put your trust in God, it's most important that you stay strong in that faith, that you stay strong in that hope, and, never look to anything else, right? Because I look to mankind, I look to my fellow prisoners to help me get out of there, and what did you say happened? They forgot about me. Yeah. So, fast forward a little. I came to the palace after interpreting some dreams for the Pharaoh, and as you all may know, I interpreted 2 special dreams for the Pharaoh. One was the cow, where the Pharaoh saw 7 healthy cows and 7 sick-looking cows, right? Didn't we say that? Yes. Yeah. And the other dream, what was the other dream? That there was 7 healthy bushels of wheat, and 7 sick bushels of wheat, right? And what I saw in those dreams was that the sick bushels of wheat and the sick cows ate the healthy bushels of wheat and the healthy-looking cows. See, these dreams never made any sense. And the Pharaoh, he didn't have anyone else to turn to besides me. So, what happened was, the Pharaoh called me to his palace, and he's like, Joseph, man, I got this huge problem. I don't know what these dreams are about. And what I told the Pharaoh was, he believed that I could interpret dreams because of the cupbearer. The cupbearer finally remembered me. So what I told him was, yes, I'll interpret the dreams, but who gives me the power to interpret that dream? God, right? The one true God? Yeah. I told the Pharaoh that the 7 healthy cows and bushels of wheat represented 7 good years in Egypt, and the bad bushels of wheat and the healthy cow, the bad cows represented 7 bad years. And what the Pharaoh did is he put me in charge of all of those things, right? So there again, you see what hope has done for me. It has led me to the second most highest place in Egypt, right below the Pharaoh. I'm in charge of almost everyone that comes in and out of Egypt. So several years passed, right? And I finally met my brothers. The famine that had struck Egypt had gone all over the land, even into Canaan. And my brothers came to me one day very sick. They were very hungry. And Ramses, he told me that, there's people from Canaan here to visit you. And I'm like, wait, from Canaan?